this actually working? I hope so. Welcome to another episode, or not another episode. This is actually the first episode that I've streamed for a real long time. I've even changed the name of the channel from KVR TV to KTV because I don't have time to stream all that much VR anymore. So the project was getting a little bit excessive time-wise, so I eventually decided not to stream so regularly. And now we're back with Farming Simulator. No, actually, this is not farming. I'm not going to play Farming Simulator today, despite what it looks like here. What you're looking at here is actually Google Stadia, as you can see up in the address bar here. This is actually quite a fascinating thing. I thought that I wanted to share a little bit about this product because I think it's getting a lot of flack. It's receiving very negative comments all around the internet, and you know what? This is good stuff. This is super interesting technology, and I think if you're interested in gaming, and especially if you're mostly into single-player games, and even multiplayer games, but if you are into single-player games and you're thinking about whether you should upgrade to, say, the Xbox Series X or the what's it called, the PlayStation 5, you might actually want to consider this instead. And the reason I ordered this was because I had a cold this week and I had a sick day back home, and then I decided, okay, I'm gonna give this new thing a try, and I'm blown away by it. It's really fascinating because it actually works, and I hope that it will work here on the stream today as well. My apologies, my cold still is a little bit stuck in me, so if I do cough and sneeze and stuff like that tonight, then sorry about that. Anyway, so what I was thinking of doing tonight is I'm just simply gonna play some games. I thought I would mainly do Destiny. I just started the Shadowkeep campaign. We'll try to get into a Crucible match as well. It's interesting to see how this works, and I will be playing not with the Stadia controller, but I will be playing with mouse and keyboard. And in case someone watching this doesn't know how Stadia works, the idea is that the console hardware is not in your house. The console hardware is in Google's, it's a blade in a server somewhere at Google, and then you send your controller your game input, and it can be a controller or it can be a keyboard and mouse. And tonight I will play with mouse and a keyboard. And the idea is that it sends your inputs to their servers, the game runs on their servers, and then it streams the image back. Many of you probably remember one live from some years ago, and that didn't really turn out so well. So it's fascinating to see that it actually works. It works really well, and I think that technically what actually happened here is that the codecs that they use to stream have gotten very, very fast. The encoding hardware is probably excellent. And I think one thing that strikes me is that there is a difference in the games on Stadia. I know that Stadia Blades, the servers run Linux. And what I think this difference between the games shouldn't come down to network, because they're probably running in the same data centers. So I do think that the technical tweaks that the engineering or the game developers have done to the games is what makes a good or a bad streaming game these days. It seems like the network infrastructure, the network speed and latency is there. Even on Wi-Fi in my home network, I can play these games. The Wi-Fi seems to add very little lag. So what I think happens is probably something in the rendering technology of the game makes or breaks a port. And, classically, you also notice on PC games that there is, because in PC games you get very sensitive with the lag, right? You're used to like instantaneous response, at least, especially if you have a good gaming monitor with a high refresh rate, then you can immediately tell if you're on a monitor or a game that has a little bit of lag internally in the code. So I think, because I downloaded Final Fantasy 15 as well on Stadia, and I thought the input lag is horrendous compared to both Tomb Raider and Destiny 2. And there's no technical reason, I assume, why that would be, other than the game processing and rendering adding significant lag to the input. But all in all, this experience with Stadia has been surprising. It's blown me away. It really has. It's looking at short of VR on the next generation consoles, I think this is really excellent. And if you buy the Stadia service, you might technically also imagine that you could run your own games on better hardware at Google in 3 years down the road. So maybe the games scale without you having to buy a new console. It is quite expensive at the moment, and right now I think you should consider Stadia as it is today to be sort of a test or a public beta that you pay to be part of. It's super stable, but it does have issues that many features are missing. I hope that we'll have a lot of good updates coming over the next few months or years, and then if that happens and the game library grows, this will be an amazing platform. I'm just going to very briefly explain why I think it's so fascinating. The thing that makes it so amazing is that all you need is the Chrome browser, or you can also play it on your TV using a Chromecast Ultra and a controller. But all I need is to sit down with any computer that has the Chrome browser. I enter stadia.google.com, and like that, I'm in my games, my saves are there, and I can even move between computers in my house and pick up again the games that I started on one computer on the next one, which makes sense because it's a streaming technology. And it is just fascinating to do that. It makes perfect sense, right? You're running this on a remote service, so it doesn't care where it pipes the network data, right? It doesn't care where the input is coming from. It doesn't care where the screen is. It just sends the data out and it responds to the input and puts it out. So yeah. Okay, enough talk. I think I'm simply gonna continue playing Destiny 2. Maybe I'll do one mission in the campaign and then I'll pop into the Crucible. It's a very small community. Only Stadia players play with other Stadia players right now, although there's talk about cross-platform. I hope they implement that, although a surprising thing to think about is that Stadia would really put a nail in the coffin for cheaters, right? Because the game is actually running remotely. So that would be a good benefit from this. Okay, I'm playing mouse and keyboard. So basically, when I go to Stadia Google.com, I get this page. The last game I played, just to test the audio and so on, was Farming Simulator. So today I'm gonna pop into Destiny. Tomb Raider is also great, and so is Red Dead Redemption. I haven't played so much of these two, but they really work. So all I need to do now is push play, and the game starts. And again, apologies for my coughing and sneezing. So you can only play this in full screen. So when I tab out of Chrome now, the window you're seeing here is actually Chrome. So yes, I tabbed out now. It says your mouse input is lost. Here we are. If something is up with the audio, let me know. I'm not entirely sure about the levels, so please let me know. Another surprising benefit to the system is that the load times are surprisingly good. It's like they are like PC, but sometimes I wonder if they're not even faster. I wonder if the drive infrastructure at Google is good. Okay, here I am. Short shout out to my clan. And this is my characters. I seem to have hit a soft cap. Also, one more comment on this is that actually the game you can stream this on a television up to 4K from Stadia. Not this particular game. It renders at a lower resolution. But you can play these games when you play these in the Chrome browser, you get 1080p. So what you're looking at here is a 1080p feed from the game. As I move the mouse, I can feel ever so slight lag, but it's nothing really significant. It's not the lag that is problematic on Stadia. It's more occasionally it will stutter, and if you had a lot of that, then I can see that you would have a problem. But the input lag, like now I'm playing on this is actually a fun setup. I'm playing on a Ethernet connection, so there's a wire network into my computer, but it's plugged into an adapter that transmits the network signal in the power line of the building over to my router and then into the modem. So you might think that it adds a little bit of a latency there, but I haven't really noticed. Okay, so this is the quest we're gonna start. Hopefully it will be smooth sailing. Recommended power 760, I'm 900, so it should be fine. Apparently Aries Morn also wants to talk to me. Let's just go there. And notice these loading times as we're gonna see now. Again, I'm sorry about the coughing. Probably sound a bit stuffy as well. I'm also going to put a link on our Discord here. Like that. I hope that works. Here we are on the moon. And by the way, if you haven't seen the new, what's it called, series on Apple TV Plus called For All Mankind, I really recommend that you do. It's really great, and it is about going to the moon. And apparently there are no nasty monsters on the moon. This, I assume, is something, I don't know what it is. Okay, so I just did the first mission. Let's talk to Eris.
To work.
I don't think she has anything to say to me, even though she's marked, because I just got the quest from her earlier. So how does it feel to play this? Well, it usually works really well. It's a little bit like blurry because it's playing at 1080p, and there's like a little bit of blur in the motion, but it's minuscule. So this is completely playable as it is right now. And that is super nice. And if I wanted to, I could turn on my TV. I could leave this right here as it is. I could go to my TV. I could start off right here, and the resolution and so on would be much higher on the Chromecast Ultra with the controller. Okay, so let's see where we want to go. I guess we'll just follow the GPS marker. I've never been down this road before. It's here. I did actually play the moon in Destiny, the first one. Actually, this is the same map, the same place as we were. Okay, I don't know what that was. If you have any questions about Stadia and its stability and so on, feel free to ask me in the chat. I guess there was a jump there for those that wanted to do that. Here you go. So one of these nasty... Last time I saw one of these things like that, it turned into a horrible monster. It's like I'm not supposed to go down there. Shall we check this out? Maybe revive. Whoa, okay, let's have a look at that. Let's try and help our buddy up there. Whoa, what is that? Oh shit! Whoa! Curiosity killed the cat. It's a servitor with some shield thing that was way above my power level. Salient Tracer Shank. Okay, let's respawn. Shall we just try and get away from here, maybe, or... Oh, it's outside the... Okay, let's try. So one thing I have noticed is that occasionally there are these funky network glitches on the multiplayer code. Hey, kill me? No, don't shield up. Fuck. Oh. Okay, so there's some kind of bounty on that target, perhaps. Let's get the loot. Sounded bad. Get out of here while we are still alive. Oh, there's the thing. Okay, so I was actually the wrong place. Yeah, okay. Look at this.
Where to?
The pyramid's warding is only a temporary inconvenience. We must first understand how it works if we're to pass through it. For that, the Hive may provide answers. For eons they lived next to the pyramid, and now they've constructed that Scarlet Keep above it. Its existence was clearly no secret to them. Now that it's activated, strange congregations of Hive have begun to appear on the moon. There is definitely a connection.
And that's where we start.
Sounds good. So in the last sort of mission here, we discovered this underground pyramid structure underneath a fallen castle or a keep. Not actually sure what the difference is in English. Ominous glow in a tunnel is always a good sign. Let's go dive in. I was never into sparrow racing. There seems to be people down here. Objective. Investigate the hive nightmare relationship.
Found it. It appears to be a ritual of some kind.
Okay.
We must learn its purpose. Do not be afraid to engage the hive.
Great, I'm here to do just that. That's the guy I gotta get then, I guess. Yeah. Let's switch into something more. Slip into something more comfortable. Yeah, so many of them here. Yeah. Oh. Okay. Is this not what I wanted to do? Shit, there's so many of them. I'm not sure where to start. So many wizards. That was one of the, what's it called? Yeah, let's get that one with our little glowing ball of fire. This is where I'm supposed to be. Can I do anything here? No. I have no idea what I'm supposed to do. I suspect neither has this dude. Oh, there's something here. More of this? Hidden coils. I remember those from the first. Somehow I always keep coming back to Destiny. Not really sure why. It's just such a, I don't know. I enjoy the Crucible. I'm not very good at it, but it's kind of a fast, rapid, pick up and play type of game that I really, gameplay that I really appreciate. So probably this nasty is gonna come here now. That guy. You think he wants to be my friend? Hey. Fading in and out? Shit, there's another one. Damn it. This one seems pissed. Just 1 second. Okay, that was a bad move. And complete. Okay, is that like I just gotta survive it, or what's the idea here? Where's this tablet now? On the other one, there was a tablet behind one of these thingies. Oh, but course, there's maybe these hive tablets that drop from targets sometimes. Maybe that's what what I have to collect. Let's try that. Okay. There was something that dropped in the middle of that firefight up there, but then of course okay, let's go up there where Stadia is and see if we can get one of these dudes. Maybe I should get one of these trikes or bikes or... Sorry, did I destroy his bike? Okay, so there's definitely a target there. Yeah, this dude, isn't it? Hey. Oh shit. Yeah, so rune tablet, there you go. Over here as well. So as I'm playing this now, there's definitely an element of lag. Like I don't have exactly the same precision as I did on the as I do if I just play it regularly on the PC. But that's not to say that the gameplay is bad. It's like I learned to compensate this very easily, and it doesn't strike me as uncomfortable at all, which surprises me. It did in Final Fantasy. It really was uncomfortable because I moved the camera and there was like almost a second delay, or at least half a second, and that is just too much. Okay, so there's our dude. Remove. But as I'm playing this, it's absolutely not uncomfortable, and that really, damn it! I punched the explosive dude. Are you gonna say I'm gonna revive me? No. So there's a tablet up there that I gotta get. Ooh. Hey. Oh, I did not want to do that. Oh, shit. Jeez, they're everywhere. Hey. Oh, damn it, was that one of the exploded dudes? So if you gave this to someone and they didn't know that it was Stadia, they didn't know that it was streamed, how would they react? That's sort of the question that you gotta ask yourself. Would it be pleasant? So let me just tell you, they would know immediately that something was off. That all the tablets we needed, yep. They would know immediately that something was off if they just picked this up and played. If, with the mouse and keyboard, mind you, with the mouse and keyboard. If you gave this to someone with a PC, hey guys, do you want to dance? No. You want to? No. Okay. Okay, so give this to a player that plays with mouse and keyboard. Immediately they'll be able to tell something is off. This is not right. Give it to a console player playing with a controller, and I don't think that most people would be able to tell. It's a super interesting experiment to do, just to see if people would even notice. And you know, I don't think they would. That's a bold statement, but that doesn't mean that those people are like bad at all. It just means that it's really good. With the mouse and keyboard, you can feel it's off. So you gotta be attuned to the idea that you're gonna play this now, and that the advantages. Hey, you're shooting at me. It's Escobar. Hey. Sorry, a lot of stuff is happening here, so I get a bit lost with the discussion. But the console players, this for me this plays at least as well as any other console on the television with a controller. Let's find out where we have to go next. Now I gotta go back to. Okay, let's. Where does it want me to? Yeah. So, and that's an amazing achievement. And ooh no. Ah, misadventure. So it really plays good, even with the mouse and the keyboard, as long as you just go for the fact that now you are playing this on a streaming service, and that has certain advantages, but it has certain drawbacks. If you were like a pro player and you were going to... Why is this a problem? Why is my compass not showing the correct direction to... Get out of here. Now it shows this way. Where did we come from? Did we come from up here? It wants me to go up to that hill. Okay, let's go there then. Is that for real? Am I supposed to go up on the hill? It's Eris. Up there. Can I come up here? No. It seems like a place that she would go, wouldn't it? Isn't it? It's like those things that show up on the side of your boat.
Eris, it's the nightmares. The Hive are trying to draw them in for the ritual.
How curious. For what purpose?
It's unclear, but they don't seem affected by the nightmares at all. Not like we do.
Fascinating. We must learn how they've achieved that. That's our key to finding a way beyond the pyramid's wall.
Eris? Those screams. That's a Hive wizard. We have to hurry.
Kill shitloads of those. Because now I have to go somewhere again. Press step. New mission. Okay, well, let's have a look. The encroaching nightmare. Sounds good. Let's go there. So you wouldn't want to go to the encroaching nightmare. So if I hold escape, I can then go back to the game or exit the game. Let's see. Notice the loading time, how cool that is. It's super fast. Okay. This thing changed.
Screams as she did the day Omnigul tore her apart and silenced her forever.
All right.
Our fates nearly intertwined today when a nightmare of Omnigul swept through camp. My survival was a gift granted by the essence you retrieved from the Crota nightmare. Were we to truly harness the power of this essence, it may provide aid in the fight against the nightmares and beyond, to the pyramid itself. It knows we're coming. I can sense it. And we will have the upper hand.
What is this glowy orby thing? I guess there's probably an explanation somewhere in a quest that I haven't played. Take the essence of despair and purify it in any way you can, then return to Ares Morn. Nightmare essence tracking. Cleanse the essence. To track it, open your director by holding tab. Hover over essence of despair. I guess there. Thanks. I think it feels like I'm playing the game for the first time, which is of course not true. Okay, collect resources, loot chests, and complete patrols, public events, and lost sectors across the moon to cleanse the essence. And then there's also this. Yeah, complete the quest Essence of Despair. Right, so I gotta do stuff, moon stuff, basically. So I think I'm just gonna drop into the Crucible for a moment. Because I find that to be fun. It's where I spend most of my time playing the game. And then we'll also get to see a little PvP. So what you're seeing now is, of course, the loading time on Stadia. This is not the loading time, but the matchmaking time. Let's see how many people are on now. What I find is that it's extremely variable. And by that I mean anywhere from 3 minutes to not happening at all. And it probably depends a lot on the time of day. And I also noticed that I see many of the same names over and over again. So here's to Drama Llama and Stadia Pants, which I keep meeting over and over again in the Crucible. So the player pool is probably quite small, and I think the game, at least at this point in time, would benefit from crossplay with the consoles. But now it went, of course, Saturday evening, a lot of people playing, and probably late enough in the US as well that we get some from the North American pool. Unless their servers are just local, or that I don't know. But that was a pretty fast matchmake. Just checking some activities on Twitch. The Stadia Discord and Reddit is very intense because I think a lot of people didn't anticipate that this would be just an enormous expansion of this library on Stadia happening very fast. Well, I think it's just beginning right now, and you have to think of it as a console. There's a porting effort for the games. It's not just installing it on the Google's servers. So I find controlling recoil to be harder on Stadia. That I have to say. And everyone, are you all gonna huddle there? It's coming around the back. Take this opportunity.
You captured Zone A. You have advantage. Zone C lost. Zone B captured. You have zone advantage.
Okay, two of them coming, too much. Yeah, Ariana's bow. Yeah, it's a good gun. I like that gun. It's a one-shotter. Yeah, so I definitely feel the lag when I'm playing here, but I'm surprisingly okay with it. If you came to me before I started playing this on Stadia and you asked, well, would you like to play with 100 millisecond input lag? Well, I would think you're crazy, right? Good. But it works, and it feels more you play in a different way. That's the best explanation I have here.
Zone B captured. Zone advantage is yours.
The thing is that it's not worse. It's the same way that you have a difference between console and PC. So using this, it becomes almost like you're playing. If you play this with a controller, it's completely analogous to playing it on. It's perfectly the same as playing it on a PC. No, as on the console. But when you play this with a mouse and a keyboard, it becomes. It's still better than with the controller. That's. Oh, I think that's maybe what I'm looking at. It's not as good as it. Sneak in a grenade here. Right, but we had it. It's not as good as a controller, but it's no, it's not as good as a mouse and keyboard just on the PC, but it is better than it's significantly better than a controller. Ooh, I guess that means an ultimate of some kind. Where is it? To be honest, I think maybe I am playing against people playing on controllers now, because sometimes their turn rate is ridiculously low. Like, I can turn fast.
Together as one. I love it.
Keyboard? Oh, oh, shit. Hey, Joan. It is amazing, Joan. It really is, but it is. The games are very expensive. But I think eventually this will be much cheaper than a console. There's something to the economics of it as well. If you think about it, these consoles, these server blades, can be used, around the clock. So your console just sits there most of the time, right? So maybe this is a more economically, a more economic way, hardware-wise, to actually run a game. And also, I think, imagine the fact that all this netcode can then rely on the fact that these servers, that what you need to transmit positions and so on of players, is the netcode. Hey. Ah, no. Sorry, it's hard to talk and play at the same time.
Zone B captured. Power play. Keep the pressure on. You're breaking them.
We are breaking them.
Zone A lost.
Shit, I don't have. One thing I do notice, which is a bit funny, is that because of the video compression, it's harder to spot the players that are being invisible, or they have some kind of thing that they do. So it's like they get a bit blurry in the game, and then with the compression that I'm seeing a little bit of here now, it's 1080p, I have a problem seeing them. So camouflage is more effective when compression artifacts are on your side. That said, I don't see a lot of those. The video quality is really crisp. And again, on the oh shit, he's really low. Come on, get that last shot.
Zone B captured. You have advantage.
Stop them from B. I guess my buddy came there before me.
Minutes remaining.
There are so many good memes about the floaty warlock jumps. Shit.
Zone A captured.
Yeah, so I think like you're saying, Jevon, the fact that you can just buy this, I didn't see him because I was talking. Ooh, I survived. The fact that you can just click play, no, click buy, and then you literally just go to your library and click play. And also the fact like the updates that came out for this game, they, you know, you didn't update the game. The next time you play the game, you get an updated instance. So there are cool benefits to this. Oh, my fortune that he was low on health. Shit. Fishing in an aquarium. They're lining up in front of my gun. Yeah, so like I said, I do think I'm playing versus not console players, controller players here. And of course that offers me advantage. Good stuff. But yeah, it plays really well. It's just that the feeling is different. A little lag. So one question I think that's very interesting about this system is whether does it make sense to think that this will actually get better, like the networking code? Will you see less lag in the future? And I'm not really sure what they have to, or how they would do that, unless you are installing new network infrastructure specifically tailored towards this kind of streaming. Because this streaming is so different from the streaming that you see when you have like Netflix and HBO and these services, because there's no buffering here. Everything has to happen completely in real time. What's interesting is that we haven't had a single incident so far that I have noticed where the game has actually chugged or it has stopped or chopped. Occasionally I have gotten that where you get like 2 or 3 seconds where it doesn't do anything. And then the problem is, of course, that the world of the game continues moving. So you are suddenly, when the image catches up, you're not coming back where you left off. You're coming up where your character is a second later. That is jarring. If that happens often, it becomes unplayable. I have never had that more than, okay, so let's say that I play for 2 hours, that maybe that happens once or 1 to 2 seconds. But in a game like Destiny, if that happened in the middle of a firefight, it is devastating, right? So I think the network code, the network stuff that they can improve is probably either internally in the games to make the rendering and the controller input less laggy, so that it pushes out the frames faster, or something like that. Maybe there's hardware optimizations to catch the frames as they are coming out of the rendering pipeline, and then the other thing would be to absolutely prevent these dips. If you're a video streaming service like Netflix, of course you can buffer your outputs, so then you will not have any. Funny, it said clan plus 500 clan XP there. Anyway, if you're like Netflix and so on, you can always buffer the video so you can stream in a little bit more than what you've seen, and then if the network connection breaks, then you just watch the extra buffer that you've got lying around. Impossible here. And like people are saying, the technical quality of this, because the image is amazing on the Chromecast Ultra when you play Red Dead Redemption, this game, or the Tomb Raider on the TV. It's indistinguishable from a console game. It's just remarkable that they can do that at such speed. So yeah. While this match makes, which seems to be taking a little bit longer this time, I'm gonna go blow my nose and have a glass of water because I'm still a bit stuffy and I can feel it. It's building up, and we don't want any incidents, any very, very clippable incidents on the stream. I'll be right back. So it's definitely taking longer to matchmake it this time. The last time I guess it happened in less than a minute. Now it's been 2 or 3. Like I said, I usually almost always get the game within 4 minutes. If we had crossplay, then it would be better. Let's look at the stuff I got. You know what? I have no idea what to do with these things. I mostly play the Crucible, so for me it's like... after I hit this soft cap, now everything is the same, right? So I guess maybe before I play I should go get bounties and things like that, so that I... So... Keep one of these combat bows. So that I would get more... higher XP or higher power rewards. To keep a shotgun at least. I don't like fusion rifles. This is a good weapon. Let's put it in this match. I'm actually in a very nice gaming community that could probably give me some advice on how to... Actually, I like this for appearance. That could give some advice on how to level this up, but I don't actually play that much, which is another argument for getting Stadia. Let's say that I couldn't play for a few months, then I could just stop my subscription, and then when I come back again, yeah. So lots of good stuff. Let's see, we're 9 of 12 now. Yeah, good. Some season rewards for me. When you buy Stadia right now, you will be able to play Stadia for free next year. You will be able to, everyone will be able to try it with what's called the base edition, and I think that's brilliant. If you buy into Stadia now, you're buying into a test sort of a system. I think the Stadia we're seeing today with both these player counts and also the limited game library, you won't be able to recognize this system in half a year to a year. I think they'll also expand on the social media features quite extensively. Like today, you can already record video and you can capture screenshots, but you can't. There's no way to get them out of the app. You got to use your phone app to get them out. And that feels either unfinished or like some partial implementation that's there as a placeholder for whatever comes next. So there is discussion of YouTube integration and so on. Another fascinating thing here is that they found some evidence in the code that the code of the app that you will be able to try games for shorter periods of time. And that's also so easy to make demos in this game, right? You get 2 hours of playtime. Just go and try. Hey Crispy. Yeah, I'm glad you've been enjoying it. What games have you been playing? I actually thought about picking up Metro, but I need to do Red Dead Redemption and Tomb Raider first. You get 4 games included when you buy this system, and they are actually pretty good. Okay, so I'm gonna play this round and then... I'm gonna play this round and I'm gonna go back to the moon and do the next mission in Shadowkeep. Then I think that's for the stream. We've been playing Destiny, yeah. Yeah, and one thing there, Crispy, it's interesting to think that it was so perfect because the because of the cross save feature, right? I can't imagine a game that was better than Destiny, quite simply because of the cross save. Because everything I do here, I can bring with me to both to. I also have an Xbox, and I play it on the PC, and I have it on. Shit, I have 3 copies of Destiny now. I should probably... yeah, because the cross-save thing just makes that possible, right? Then again, because of Stadia, I can now play this with the mouse and the keyboard when I want. I love this gun. This gun is so great. But with the with Stadia, you can play this both with the keyboard and the mouse, and with the controller, depending on whatever floats your boat, right? So it's cool to be able to swap. Yeah, I love the cross save. Yeah, isn't that awesome? You can just go on your vacation and play this. I'm also going out of town next week, and then it's like I can play this anywhere now. I had a magic moment with Stadia the other day because, there was a moment that made me sort of realize the full potential of this, because I couldn't sleep, and then I had my ultrabook in the living room, so I just I sat down with my ultrabook and I loaded up Destiny. And my ultrabook cannot play games. Like it couldn't even touch Fortnite, right? Then it gets a fever, and it dies. So, but this little Dell can now suddenly play these amazing AAA PC games, and wow, like the moment where I just realized that I now had that freedom was one of the things that really sold me on this as an entirely new way to game that could potentially change a lot about what the next generation of gaming will be about. Or, oh shit! Oh damn it! He's just sitting there. Is he camping under the stairs? What is he, Harry Potter? Well, we are doing pretty well, right? Oh shit! It's the same dude. I'm gonna get him this time. No! Dwarf beards. So, of course, when you buy into Stadia this early, you get to choose your username. So, Dwarf Beard there made a very conscious decision. That was not because Hercules was taken, it was because he wanted to be called Dwarf Beard. How about I do that? Whoop! Ah, it was one of my buddies. I'm very happy there's no friendly fire in this game. One thing that strikes me is it's really surprising how much hate there's been in the gaming community for this system. There's really been like I think Alana Pierce, the video games journalist, I'm not sure, is she Australian? Yeah, I think so. She commented that people really wanted her to... Shit. I make that mistake so many times. She made a positive video about Stadia, and then people got upset with her, and because she said she liked it, and she had great comments about this about the system. Oh. Didn't see him. So she made Alana Pierce made I think the video is called something like Stadia has been great for me. Go and check that out if you want to learn a little bit about it. She has great reflections on the nature of these systems and potentially sort of bad sides to them. Considering what companies can do if you do end up streaming games instead of buying them or having them on console. One of the things is how can they tune the games when they know more about how you play them. And I thought these were really... She has very interesting reflections. She's one of the more reflected journalists. It's really... I really recommend that video by Alana Pierce. She's also really funny. Is that the enemy that has the solar thing? Where is he? Here? Sorry. That might have been actually a moment where the lag influenced me getting him. I felt like it dropped a frame there.
The enemy has closed the gap. Zone A captured.
Yes!
Zone advantage is yours.
I got a kill now. It's been a while. So yes, we got 2 out of 1 zones. It's funny when I stream and I play, I keep forgetting the objective that we are trying to do in the game. Which kind of sucks when you're playing a multiplayer game, right?
Zone C captured. That's a power play. You took them. Now hold them.
Recharge. This is a really long power play.
Remaining. Zone C lost.
Let's make it longer. No, Wolfbeard's at it again. Because he came out from under the stairs. It was Harry Potter that used to live under the stairs, right? I was looking forward to that melee. Oh. I'm really enjoying this. I gotta say, like, this is if you told me, like literally 2 months ago, that I would be 3 months ago, before I knew much about Stadia, and then you would say, well, in the middle of December, you'll be playing with a mouse and a keyboard. You're gonna have 100 millisecond lag, and you're gonna be loving it. You're gonna really appreciate that, and you're gonna think that maybe this is the way the future looks. I would go and I would say, no way. I have a 144 Hz monitor. I have 5 or 3, 4 milliseconds delay on my screen. I will not have it any other way as a member of the PC master race. But here I am, and I'm really enjoying this at the 100 millisecond lag, playing with a mouse and a keyboard. So, yeah, priorities. So there's obviously a trade-off to this system. Probably there's going to be, once this system is more mature, that's what people are going to say about cloud gaming. It's going to be, you can play this, you can download the game today. You can, when Stadia base is there, they're going to go and say, well, you know what, you want to try that new game? Just play it here. Maybe game companies will give out free demos. Hey. And they got me. Maybe game companies could even give out free demos of games playing on Stadia. You want to try our game? Here you go. You have 2 hours of gameplay, or 1.5 hours of gameplay on Stadia. You can just go and do it now, right now in Chrome. So it's amazing, right? Technically, it's kind of cool. Although I wonder, of course, about the infrastructure of this. If you're a server, you can handle thousands and thousands of requests continuously throughout the day, every second. A single server blade can probably only play 1 or 2 instances of this game. I'm not sure what the hardware of that would be. So let's say that there is 12 million active users on Steam on a given day. Would Google have 12 million server blades that could play this, or 6 million or 1 million? I don't know how it scales and how it sorts itself out, but I'm sure they probably thought really thoroughly about that. Okay, I'm gonna play one more mission on the moon. Then I think maybe I will have a small break. Maybe I'll play something else later. Maybe I will get into Red Dead Redemption. Let's do one more mission on the moon. Oh yeah, of course. The mission was that I had to do these quest things. Essence of Despair. So I have to complete activities. Roles, public events. Yeah. So let's get to know the moon. No public events incoming that I can see. Have I been to Sorrow's Harbor? Okay, so this is probably the keep. Maybe this is where we were fighting earlier. This is. Let's just go here. Let's look for our patrols. Someone also commented that when you play Stadia games, if there are any bounties we can get off areas as well, maybe we
The
can
fight continues.
maximize our... maybe not? Acquire Shadowkeep campaign progress, okay. Yeah, so I guess I just gotta goof around. Look for stuff to do. So where are we going? That patrol marker up there on the hill. Blinking. Go there and check that out. Here somewhere I saw a patrol marker. Or no, it's something in far off in the distance. Something over there.
Come, sharp one.
Am I the sharp one? Oh,
I have decided to impart upon you some of my knowledge. Listen well.
Find Tolan. Your friend the Waldos? Well, it's easy to find him if he has like a marker over there. If imagine if Waldo had a quest marker or a map. Is this a thing you can open though? Like my ride? Beautiful. Hey, what you? Waldo?
Those who worked here sought knowledge, despite dangers, heedless of consequences. Some seekers find reward, others ruin. Which shall you be?
Let's go for the reward. Okay, so I'm supposed to go in here? Is that what this means? Is it like a lost sector or what is this? Love the artwork in Destiny. Just the whole setting itself, it's so cool. Whoa. Ominous music, that's all. It's always a sign. Quiet though. Enemies ahead. Hey, fallen. Hey. Probably means it's a high value thing here somewhere. Right, you guys. Some. I know you did. That's close. Supposed to go down there, I guess. Oh, I hear a sparkly sound. Maybe not. Just the ticking of this thing. Okay. Hey. Like I said before, if you haven't seen For All Mankind on Apple TV Plus, you really should. It's an amazing sort of sci-fi, sort of social fiction show. It's really good. It imagines what happened if the space race hadn't ended. Really good. It's really well written. There are so many good, well written programs on. What's to do here? on the streaming services now. Okay, so there's no map here. Maybe this is not the place that I'm supposed to be. Maybe this is, or maybe this belongs to some other quest and I just accidentally stumbled in here. Maybe Poland or whatever his name was is trying to fool. Okay, so maybe there's nothing here. I guess there's like a lost sector or something. All there is here seems to be ominous music. Okay, I'm gonna give this one up. See anything here, do you? Probably belongs to some other quest. Well, let's get out of here while we can. Looks like an enormous servitor. Lighting here is beautiful. It really looks like a giant servitor. Yeah, I don't think there's any. Oh, it's one of those things. Still not sure what these things are, but I see them all around. Yeah, look at that. Well, they seem rather polygonal. Okay, maybe this was just lore. Something happened here. There's is that a public event marker? Go check that out. Yeah, let's do a public event. Hey dude. 1 minute 34 seconds. We can wait for that. Something here too. No. Okay, so this is where I want to go afterwards. Why does this person thing? Surprisingly polygonal effect. Yeah. And of course, what is that voice? Something I heard a voice there. What is that melody? I mean, it's not as I imagined it. Okay, 20 seconds to public event starting. And just a toasted seems to be getting ready up here. Okay, I am waiting. Okay. A shooting star. Whoa. Shit.
Into the sector. Sensors have picked up a war set in a decaying orbit. It's too valuable to be left undefended.
Oh.
Get it home.
I guess the nasties are gonna come out of these thingies. And suddenly the whole party arrives. Here you go. Funny, it was actually knocked back a bit. Why are they? Oh, it's a servitor. Let's give it that. Oh shit, what is that effect? They're really throwing everything at us here. It's like all of them joined up to get rid of. Whoa, shit. Let's put that big one in for those guys. Hey. Shriekers. Ah, I hate shriekers. Shriekers are the worst. Maybe not the worst, but they are pretty bad. But I have an ultimate. Oh, maybe these shriekers aren't the worst after all. What about that one? Fireworks. Okay. Suddenly it's a heroic event. Whoa. Shit, I'm almost out of power. I guess people were saving up for a big party. Okay, that was it, right? Ah, nice. Okay, so I guess I did complete some of the... Okay, 54% complete. Let's keep going. Collect a bit of light. Guardians are crazy about flashlights. And then there was a patrol up here. Let's go do that. Maybe that closes in on the end.
This is no mere machine. A machine could not hunt us so ruthlessly.
I feel there is a lot of story here in this version. Okay, now it's pushing me up there again. It just send me here again. Hunt the Nightmare of Lambix 4. Okay, good. Now we're back here. But it's strange that nothing was here before. To get me in the zone. One additional comment just on the effectiveness of the system of Stadia. It has been laggy on my MacBook, on Wi-Fi, mind you. And I'm not exactly sure why it's worse there. Some people have been saying that. That it? Okay. Some people have been saying that there are settings you can change on the Mac to make it more stable, like something with location service. But apparently it might also be something with the Wi-Fi, but I feel there has been more lag I also feel there is a little bit more input lag on the Macs often, MacBooks. Even playing with a wired mouse, which I did for this when I played, I feel it's much more playable on my Dell XPS 13 than on my MacBook that I get from work. So it's it's interesting. Although of course, if you have a MacBook, you're probably not going to be playing games anyway, so it's going to be a big upgrade for you regardless. Completely oblivious to the fact that all his mates died behind him. Chest over there. He did. Whoa. For real? Did I do that? Did they all do like that if you knocked them out? No. Yes, they do. Look at that. Okay. Hey. Are you not even aware of my presence? Do we have some kind of network issue right now? No, because Drax over there is moving around. Okay, that must be a bug, right? There's no way that they're supposed to be that passive. How about this guy? Hey. They don't care about me. Is that a bug or a feature? Yeah. What the hell is going on? Look at that. Because that's not part of the lore, is it? Because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna log out and back in again and see. They're shooting at him. They're just not shooting at me. Look at that. What did I do to deserve this? Okay, this can't be right. Okay, I'm just gonna see where I am. Okay, so I am in Anchor of Light. Let me go to orbit, and so that we sort of reconnect. Let's just go to orbit. And then we'll go back to the Anchor of Light just to see what happened there, because this could potentially be a bug. Okay, so Anchor of Light, that's where we're gonna go. I've occasionally seen weird network glitches in Stadia on the servers. You would kind of think that these clients can sort of be controlled, or they have optimal conditions to communicate between themselves. Because now the client is, the game client is at Google, right? But sometimes, for reasons that I absolutely don't understand, you get people just popping in. So it's almost like you would think that the network code in multiplayer games could be so perfect using this system, using Stadia. You can also imagine that there are potentially ways to put thousands of players, for instance, in the same field of view using trickery on the server, because you have all the data there. You don't need to connect. You don't perhaps not need to communicate as much, right? There could be. I can imagine that there are ways you could go about it to create really cool. Hey. Gonna kill me now? Okay, yes. So it was a bug. shit, it was a bug. Well, I'm glad I got that on camera. Fascinating. I've never seen anything like that in a game before. That has to be clipped, that's for sure. This has to be a loot box, right? This is not a loot box? How is that possible? It has the green little thing, shiny thingies, and... I thought I heard a voice over here, right? So funny, I remember, you know, these buildings from Destiny 1. Okay, Fisher of Light. Hey, Fisher! Want another Fisher? He is not being... He's a bit passive, but he's not like they were before. Secrets. It really is 86%. It really is true that the moon here facilitates exploration. I'm just gonna check that they're starting firing at me again. Hey. Yeah. Okay, good. Okay, oh, there it is.
Slaughtered by fallen on a desolate moon.
Let's go. The enemy's defeated. Okay. I love this gun. It's called Ariana's Wish. Hey. One more glitch that occasionally happens on Stadia. Okay, Essence of Despair is that. So one more glitch that occasionally happens is that it seems very rarely, but occasionally enough to notice, it misses one of your inputs. It misses one of your inputs, and by that I mean like I push a button and then nothing happened, right? So I don't know if that is down to... I actually don't know what that is, because you would assume that to always work. I've had it both with the controller. The controller is really good, by the way. This is an excellent controller. It feels so weighty and nice. This is on par with the Xbox One controller, that's for sure. But it feels occasionally like it misses an input, very rarely. Not enough to be a problem in the games. So.
In the depths of the hellmouth, my very soul was shattered into pieces. It was all I could do to try and pick them up again. But some pieces, as you can see, required replacing. I must call upon one of them now, an ancient talisman imbued with the magic of the hive.
Tea in that cup, right?
The true power of the nightmare essence could not be harnessed. Through their union, we take our first step toward unearthing the secrets of the pyramid. But it is only a step. Further essences require further hive magic.
When I pitch my projects, I'm gonna start talking like her.
Require both, and our path to the pyramid should present itself.
And get this mascara and the thing right. I don't need this actually. I have no idea what she was talking about right now. I literally completely missed that. Okay, so Totland that we talked about as a ride and every intention of distracting me, it will not work. But that seemed like someone wanted to show me something. During Ares' time in the Hellmouth, she discovered the many hive curios. All that remained was an ancient talisman pulsating with hive magic. Now the union between the talisman and the essence of the spear has yielded a powerful tool in the fight against nightmares. Take this piece of Dreambane armor and use it to hunt the nightmare of Omnigul. Some creative writing there. Okay, so Dreambane mod, Undying armor mod. Okay, so I gotta wear special clothes. There's a dress code for this mission. Like a mod I attached to my own.
Trying to convince others of my sanity. If you must die, die well.
People that are sane usually don't say that kind of shit. Okay. I think actually I'm gonna stop the stream for now. Maybe I'll be back a little bit later with a Tomb Raider stream. I'll think about it. It's also a good game that I haven't played, and I wasn't expecting to like it since I'm not super into single player. But it's good. And again, yeah, Stadia has been good. So in this entire stream, I don't think we had a single instance where it dropped frames. Again, this is we're playing on a wired connection. I have my Ethernet cable running through the power line in my building. There's a modem over there, broadband modem that has 300 what's it called, kbps, kilobits per second, down and 15 up. We're also streaming this. I'm watching the stream on the second monitor, and the game is currently playing in 1080p. Playing with a mouse and keyboard, I didn't notice any periods where the lag increased to be unplayable. It's amazing. I am blown away by this. There is, of course, lag. It's an issue. Hey, Neomax. You want to have a dance? You can dance if you are. I'm not dead. Yeah, I guess it's okay, sure. Enjoy my dance, Neomax. Good stuff. So it just works, and it's absolutely incredible. And again, as long as you don't expect this to be, you know, Twitch ready sort of CS:GO level lag, and as long as you accept that you have a slightly different playstyle with this level of lag, it's not uncomfortable. And I'm in Destiny, and I wasn't prepared for that. Look at that, contacting Destiny 2 servers. That was intriguing. So there's a network problem. That must be internally on the server systems where that runs this. Yeah, okay, so anyway. This Stadia works. It's great. It's not the same. If you buy into it now, you're gonna have unfinished stuff. It's not ready in this way that if you buy a PS4 today, you're buying a complete access to an incredible ecosystem of games. Stadia is not like that. Stadia feels like the first step. It feels like Google is releasing this a little bit ahead of what they could. They could have sat down and waited a bit, but the server technology is there, the streaming tech is there, the latency is there, the delivery is there. It's good enough that people that are early adopters like myself really enjoy playing this. It's quite simply a new experience, a new way to game, and the fact that the convenience is that zero downloads, zero patching, everything instant. So you turn it on, you can just play like that. Oh, I want to buy this game, buy it. 2 seconds later, you push the play button, straight to game. Short loading times, play on any screen. You don't need specific hardware to run this. In the future, you'll be able to run this on Stadia base for free, so you can try it in your Chrome browser without paying the fee that you have right now. So let's say that Stadia base drops in February or March, which is the free version. I think this has the potential to take over the world. And I wonder if the reason they are releasing this a little bit earlier than you might expect is that they want people to know that it exists, so that it doesn't drown in the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X releases. But this is on par with console gaming today. I wouldn't replace my PC with this, quite simply for the reason that I do stuff like VR, and games like Overwatch isn't on this. And you could not run VR with this. Latency is too big, and I don't see them overcoming that. Even though I see some of these 5G companies advertising that, oh, you can run VR remotely, I don't believe that. Not for a second. I have absolutely I just don't believe that they'll be able to pull that off. So here we are. I just played like an hour and a half of Stadia, and Destiny 2, first-person shooter. I played the PvP and campaign, and it's beautiful. This is, I'm just going to hold down escape now, then I'm going to go exit game, and we'll be back in the menu. And as you can see, we've been in Chrome all this time. It's like the conclusion of a movie where, you know, oh, you were dreaming the entire time. It's crazy. It's really amazing, and I love it. I think this is something that could become important for gaming, and I hope you have enjoyed seeing it as well. Don't believe people that say that this is not a good service. It is a good service. It's real. Don't believe people that say, I saw someone, called Dave Lee, said on YouTube that Stadia is dead to me. Okay. Okay, fine, he can believe whatever he wants, but this really works. It's a good system. It doesn't provide as much as the consoles do right now, so you gotta be eager if you want to try this, and you have to be aware that if you're playing with a mouse and keyboard, you're going to experience a little bit of lag. If you're playing with a controller, you will not have you probably, if your network is good enough, that's the big joker, right? But if your network is good enough with the Chromecast Ultra and that controller, I bet you will not feel a difference compared to a console. Yeah, it's cool. If you have money, good internet, if you have an interest in tech, I actually suggest you could consider giving this a try. You got to be prepared for that lag, got to be prepared for that special feeling you get when you aim in Destiny. But if you buy this now, even at the price, let's see what it is. Stadia. What it is right now, but I think yeah, it's well, you got to convert this. It's like 100 euros, 120, 130 euros, 140 euros. So if you do get this right now, you get four games included. It's Destiny, it's a ninja game, it's Tomb Raider, and it's Farming Simulator. And for just 2 of those games on a console, you would probably pay the same amount as you do to get into this, and you get a Chromecast Ultra and this lovely controller, which is really nice. So to me, it's almost like a no-brainer to try this if you're into tech and you got a good internet. And it might be that your internet is not as good as you think. So maybe check out that the lag testing, not just the speed testing, but check out the lag testing on your network, and if it drops packages and so on. And if it doesn't do it, I think if you're interested in tech, this is probably worth a try. This is not a bad service. It's an interesting step into the future. And I think no matter if it's Stadia or some other platforms, this type of gaming will be part of the future. It has completely made me a believer. Not going to replace everything, but it's going to be a part of gaming's future. I have no doubt about that. Okay, I think that's it for now. Thank you for watching. I hope the stream was interesting and that you learned a little bit about Stadia and its qualities. Okay, this is Knut from Oslo, signing out. Have a good night.